very short. As you do know, I did change my description and everything in regards to all truth is here. Um, what I will tell you, as you can see, that I have encountered the invisible stigmata. Okay, I have encountered it and I have realized what it is. Now, as you can see, I do not bear the physical wounds. No, I don't have them physically, but I do have them. Okay, I was marked in the wrist, around the head, in the back, in the feet. Okay, and I'm going to explain why and how this happened. And I will try to put it in the description box of the story that I wrote down and pieced together, so that you guys can see it for yourselves. The best way of my ability to explaining it in this video. Okay, so one night, let you know ahead of time, I've been praying for the stigmata for years. Ever since I became saved with Christ, I found that his suffering, it reminded me of kind of who I am, because I bear a lot of people's burdens by nature. It's just who I am. Subconsciously. I don't even know that I'm doing it, but that's just something I do. I'm a person who gives all even when I receive nothing. Okay? And to remind you that I received this stigmata was through prayer. Okay. I was not aware that God was going to do it. But what happened on how it even came to pass was that I was in the prayer room and I was asking God about the stigmata. And then all of a sudden, my body kind of became limp. Okay. My body kind of became surrendered, if you will, however you would explain that. And my arms would always extend like this. I don't know if y'all can see, but my arms would do this. Okay. They would be out just like that. And then a voice, a very ancient, almost stern, passionate, loving, deep, raspish kind of voice, male, would come from me, from my vocals. It was not my own voice, not my own accent. It was a Middle Eastern accent. And that's what told me that it was Jesus. Okay. And he had made me into this state right here. Mind you, this never happened to me before. And when it happened, he lifted up my head, but I was already completely, not doing this. I was involuntarily moving. He was moving me. My head went up and he said, Father, she is ready. Okay. He said, Father, she is ready. And then all of a sudden, I did this. And then next thing you know, I was out. My body slumped. My hands fell. And it was just like my hands started to shake. Just like this, like I had severe Parkinson's. Out of nowhere, out of the blue. And I had no control. And even right now, I'm smelling lavender as I speak. There was a reason why he kept allowing me to notice that, because he was showing me that I was being prepared to receive the stigmata. Okay. I have always wanted to receive it. Out of fear, people thought I was going to be, die, but I was not afraid of death. I was willing to die for the cause of Jesus, at least by his hands. I don't want to die by man. Hi, Addie. Thank you for joining. So, next thing you know, I am just like this, completely surrendered. The voice comes through me, and then he shows me scenes in my mind. A lot of y'all might watch The Passion of the Christ. I've watched that movie. It is so hard to watch, and it's supposed to be Aramaic. This is the language that Jesus spoke in 2,000 years ago. He spoke first century Aramaic. And what he went through, the five wounds, the wrist, the feet, the back, okay, the head, okay, we all know he had a pierced side also. Okay, Jesus was covered with over 140 wounds and just lashes. Okay, they took chunks out of his body. He had thorns around his head. They beat it into his head. Okay, he showed me everything in my mind. And what happened when he did was that it was involuntary. It was involuntary. And I was not myself, basically. I was not myself. Hi, Addie. Um, Sorry, I'm getting sideswiped. But I noticed when my hands and all of that was extended, I realized that this was no longer me. I was no longer in control. This was no longer something that I could have controlled. Mind you, I begged him for something like that so that I could relate to him. Because us being sinners, don't you want to have a deeper intimacy with God? No matter how far you think you are from God, knowing that He loves you, knowing that He waits for you. He waits for you to pray. He waits for you. He watches over you. Don't you want to develop that relationship with Him? And that's what motivated me. I wanted to get to know Him. And I didn't care if it was going to kill me or not because I don't value life. I never did. I've always had a rough life. Emotionally, it was more emotional. Hi, Timber. It's so good to see you. I've been great. How have you been? So, moving forward, he showed me scenes from the Passion of the Christ. The first one was when he was in the room, I believe. He was in a room with these Pharisees and Sadducees, and they was asking him, "Are you the Son of God?" And then before that, the man that smote him in the face, and Jesus told him, "Why do you hit me? If I have not given you a reason, why do you hit me?" And the man could say nothing. That scene happened the entire time. The words, his voice, all of that, the words came out. Mind you, I'm wide awake. I'm not sleeping. I'm talking about the stigmata. If you don't know what it is, do some do some research on Google. It's gonna try to break it down for you. A lot of people are not familiar with it. It's not really heard of, and a lot of people do lie about these things. So you really gotta have a discerning spirit if these people are telling the truth. Be good the whole thing with your sister. So much better, Timber. It's been a lot better. God's been with me, and He's been making a way. So thank you so much for being concerned. I really appreciate it and thinking about me. I haven't been on live in a while, so thank y'all so much for sticking around. So he showed me that scene with the Sadducees and Pharisees when he said that he was the Son of God and how they smote him in the face and everything. It was like my body was reacting, like they was actually hitting me. My head would turn, everything, and the shuddered breaths, like the shifting in breathing, the labored breathing. When something hurts, my eye would close, just this eye. It'd be the left eye. It would just shut. God is good. Thank you, Timber. Yes, He is. Amen. He is. My eye would shut involuntarily. And then, next thing you know, that scene ended. My body started to jerk again. And then it went slump for a few seconds. And then I inhaled all over again. There it goes. He came back inside of me, if that makes sense. Like he overtook me once again. And he showed me another scene from the Passion of Christ. This is where he was sitting on where they would put your hands in the Roman days, and he had him chained, and he was about to get lashed. Okay, and he looked at his mother. So he made my body to look to where he would have looked at his mother through the gates in that movie, and he showed me everything in regards to that, the face expression. I felt the fear. I felt the nervousness, how he was tensing his body to be prepared for that moment. He was tense. His hands was a little shaky, but he was a little more courageous at that point. Okay, and then next thing you know, they pulled out the whips and they hit him. My back did this as if I actually got hit multiple times. And the part where they hit him in the face with one of those lashes, that's why he has that indentation on his forehead, on his shroud. You're pretty cool and you're doing okay, or are you doing bad? Hope you're having a great day because you're the person. Oh, thank you, Addie. You're so sweet. I am having a great day. I haven't been on live for a while, so it's really good to interact with you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day too. Excuse me, a pretty perfect day. It's really good to hear from you, and I'm glad that I can be such a sweetheart to you. It makes me happy. And the beating repeated itself unto a certain extent, and afterwards it just went to another scene. And next thing you know, again, my body shifted, like I was being transported. I was being transported into a whole nother scene. The next scene, it went to Pilate, where he was telling Jesus that, you know, I have the power to crucify you, or I have the power to set you free, but you don't say anything. And Jesus told him, you have no power except what is given to you from above. And that's what he had me say. It was in his voice. And I was labored breathing as if I was actually beaten. I felt it all. I just don't carry the physical. And trust me, I did a lot of research about that. Because I don't believe in lying, not in God. No. I took it very seriously. And next scene came. That's when they was about to crucify. And he brought me. They had his cross. He positioned my hands just like this as if he was holding the cross. And he was walking, struggling. I felt them hit behind me. It's like I felt the whip when they beat him while carrying that cross. And when he fell, I slumped to the side. And when he picked it back up, and his mother was right there, and he said, see, mother, I am making all things new. Even the smile was on point. Every scene that he showed me was on point. No, not a vision, no. This is actually taking place while I was awake. Oh, thank you, Adam. You're so sweet. I'm going to finish this live another day since my folks is going to bed. So I will keep you posted, and I will try to put it in the description box, okay? Yes, he was, Timber. He definitely was. Definitely was, but it was more a reenactment almost. But I'm going to put it in the description for you guys so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm going to end this live, and I wish you all a great night. And I love all God as little lambs, okay?